Hello, students. Welcome to today's writing lesson. My name is Miss Taylor, and I am excited to do some neat, careful handwriting with you. So before we start today, let's see if we are all ready for writing. So in order to be ready, we need a pencil. We need our writing packet, and that looks like this. This is our writing packet that we already did the top part the other day with Miss Schultz. And today we are going to do the bottom part of page 1. So we're on page 1 today. We did the top part the other day with Miss Schultz, and today we are going to do the bottom of page 1 with me. And if you're wondering, oh, Miss Taylor, why are you using a pen for yours? And the reason I'm using a pen is so it's easier for you to see. So when I do mine, I kind of like to do it in this blue pen so that it's easier for students to see. So we've got a pencil, a writing packet, and a writing surface, and some kind of a flat surface. So I'm writing on my desk. You can write at a table, something nice and flat. Also, make sure that you are sitting up nice and straight and tall. We do our best learning when we're sitting properly. And then we're going to pay attention to a few things. We're going to pay attention to the lines on the paper, including the margin line, the base line, the dotted line. We're also going to pay attention to spacing. We want our letters and words to be comfortably close, not squished too close together. That's too squished, and not too far apart. And then we also want to protect our paper from elephants. A herd of elephants might run in the room, so we have to have one hand on the paper as we're doing our careful writing. And then our goal for today is to carefully form letters and also to write neatly and carefully. So let's begin. I have kind of a bigger paper here just to demonstrate a few things for you. And I've noticed that my paper is missing one of the lines. I wonder if you can spot, or I should say my paper is a little bit different. One of the lines is a little different. So you'll notice there's a margin line on the left side. There is a top line up here, the top line of the title line. I have my base line, but there's something interesting about my middle line. My middle line, now usually our middle line is dotted. So maybe I'll just put some little dots here. There we go. There's my dotted middle line. Okay, so we are going to write a few letters. And the first letter we have is the letter F. And the letter F says F. So that is the first one we're going to do. And before we start with our letter F, I just wanted to draw your attention to some of our clock points. So you may remember this from last year. When we're doing our handwriting, we kind of imagine that there's a little clock here, and there's a little clock here, and we talk about clock points to help us make nice round shapes or nice straight lines when we're drawing and writing our letters. So with the letter F, we are actually going to pretend there is a little circle, a little clock on the top here, and we're going to start at high 2 on the clock. So that means that would be right up here, high 2 on the clock. And I know this paper is quite a bit bigger. So on my paper over here, high 2 on the clock would be about right here. And then we're going to go up. We're going to curve up to just below the top line. We're going to curve down to high 10. And then I'm going to pull a straight line down to the baseline. I'm going to stop and lift my pencil. And if I stop here, it should look kind of like like a candy cane almost. I'm going to stop and lift my pencil. And then just above the dotted line, I'm going to pull a straight line across in the direction we read and write. And I'm going to stop and lift my pencil and say, F. All right. So for my next letter, I'm going to leave a finger space. So I'm going to be comfortably close. And I'm going to try that again. So let me scoot that out of the way here. I'm going to start at high 2 on the clock. And I'm going to round up to just below the top line. I'm going to touch high 10, and then I'm going to pull a straight line down to the baseline, stop and lift my pencil. And then in the direction we read and write, I'm going to pull a straight line across. So just above that top dotted line. And then again, I'm going to leave a little finger space here. I'm going to try another one. Just like that. And I'm going to try a few more. And I know on your handwriting paper, oh, that one was a little bit short. On your handwriting paper, okay, your handwriting paper is quite a bit smaller. Whoops. So when you are doing your homework tonight, you will have to get quite a bit smaller with your letter F's or your F. So let me just demonstrate what that might look like on this smaller paper here. That would look about like this. I'm still going to try to leave a little finger space there. Whoops, just like that. And then something fun that we like to do in second grade is when we are finished with our line of letters. Let me zoom in here a little bit for us. What we like to do is to circle our best one. Oh, make sure I got my hand on my paper to herd off the elephants, to protect my paper from the elephants. So I'm going to do a few more. Let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Because the goal is for us to do 10 times. We're going to write our letters 10 times. And then what we like to do is circle our very best one. Which one looks the best? I think I might need to practice my F. Let's see, maybe this one. And I'm going to circle it and put a little star by it because that is my best F. All right. The next letter you'll notice is the letter G, which says G, J. So let's get my bigger paper back here. And for this letter, which looks, here's our phonogram card, G, J. For this one, it starts at regular 2 on the clock. So the F started at high 2 on the clock, which was like way up here, and it's high 2 on the clock. Well, for the G, J, it's going to start at regular 2 on the clock. And it's going to go around this way, and then it's going to go down below the baseline, just like that. So let's see, for our G, J, I'm going to start at regular 2 on the clock. I'm going to curve up to the dotted line, curve down. I'm going to, let's see, what am I going to touch? I'm going to touch 10, touch 8, touch the baseline. I'm going to curve back up. Now, if I stopped here, it would be a lovely A-O-U, an O, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go back to regular 3, and then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to curve my G, J, just above that dotted line below, and I'm going to curve it up, and I'm going to stop and lift my pencil and say G, J. Let's see. And so I'm going to leave a little space there, finger space, and then I'm going to start here again at regular 2 on the clock, and I'm going to make it nice and round and trying to touch those clock points. I'm going to curve it up and around and say G, J. All right. So again, that's regular 2 on the clock. There's my little finger space. So regular 2 on the clock, curve up to the dotted line, curve down to regular 10, touch 8, touch the baseline, curve up, and then I'm going to kind of go back to regular 3 on the clock, which is kind of right in the middle of the clock, and I'm going to pull a straight line down to the baseline, and then I'm going to curve it up. Stop and lift my pencil and say G, J. All right, let me do a few more of those. G, J, G, J. All right, there. And again, on your paper, it's going to be a little bit smaller, and you are going to try to do 10 of those and then circle your best one. So maybe I'll just use this paper for now, just to circle. I think this one is my best one. It's usually not the first one because I get better as I practice. Let's see, I'm going to circle my best F over here. Okay, alrighty, so there we have some of our letters. The next letter we're going to do is this one. It's our curvy letter. It's the letter S. All right, so the letter S, we're going to start again at regular 2 on the clock. And I think I'm going to skip a little space so we have a little more room here. And I'm going to start at regular 2 on the clock. I'm going to curve up to the dotted line, curve down to regular 10, and then I'm going to slide over. And I'm going to slide across to regular 4, and then I'm going to curve and have my letter touch the baseline. And I'm going to round up to regular 8. I'm going to stop and lift my pencil and say S, Z. All right, so that letter S says S, Z. Try a few more of those. S, Z. S, Z. Ooh, my lights went out in the classroom. All right, might have to turn this on. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and try a couple more. You know what, I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to turn my lights back on. Lights back on. Here we go. All right, so our lights are back on. So you're going to try some beautiful letter S's, and they're going to look something like this in your packet. And then you're going to circle your best one. I think this one would be my best one. All right. And our last letter that we have for today is actually a multiple letter phonogram. So it is Qu. So Q-U together says Qu. So this one, we are going to start, this one is going to start off kind of like the letter G, and except with our G, J, when we go down, instead of curving up, we're going to stop and pull a little flag in the other direction. So let me show you what that is going to look like. So we're going to start off kind of like at regular 2 on the clock again, and we're going to curve up and around. We're going to touch the baseline. And then when we get here, we're going to pull a straight line down, and just below the dotted line, or just above the dotted line below, we're going to pull a little flag up, kind of up to the right. And then, comfortably close to that, I'm going to start at the dotted line, and I'm going to pull a straight line down, then I'm going to round, touch the baseline, round back up, and then pull a straight line down to the baseline, stop and lift my pencil and say Qu. And then because this is a multiple letter phonogram, I'm going to underline it. And that is what we do for our multiple letter phonograms. All right, so I'm going to skip a space, finger space, and I'm going to pull my Q down and up to the right. And then I'm going to make my beautiful U. Qu. All right, so this is what my QU looks like. And again, our goal is to, on your paper, you're going to try to do 10 of these and then circle your best one. Let's see, I think I like this one. All right, I'm going to circle that one, nice and round, not too close. All right. And then the final thing that you have today for your writing homework is to very beautifully copy down a line from our poem. So what you are going to do after this video, or you could be doing it right now during the video, is to write 10 of each of these letters and 10 of our QU phonogram. And then right underneath, you're going to write this line from our poem, won't have any fish to sell. And you're going to do your best to try to write right underneath it. So that would look like this. So right under this capital W, you're going to try your best to make each letter right underneath, just like that. Okay, so I will finish mine as you finish yours, and then I will post a picture for you to see what your completed work should look like. And before we go, we have just 2 quick things. One, here's our poem, Persevere by Unknown. The fisher who draws in his net too soon won't have any fish to sell. The child who shuts up the book too soon won't learn any lessons well. If you would have your learning stay, be patient. Don't learn too fast. The man who travels a mile each day may go round the world at last. So this is our poem that we are working on, starting to memorize in second grade, and has a really good message about taking things one step at a time. And that really relates to handwriting, because when we do a little bit of careful handwriting each day, pretty soon we'll see, wow, look at what a great writer I am. Look at all this careful, neat handwriting that I've done. And that is also something that just kind of helps us in general in life to do things one step at a time. All right, the last thing I wanted to show you before we go here is our grading rubric for handwriting. You might be wondering, well, Miss Taylor, how do I get all of my points for handwriting? So each one of your handwriting assignments is worth 5 points. So if you're wondering, how do I get grades for handwriting? Well, let me cover that up here. So handwriting, if you have all your letters neat and complete, so all your letters are neat and you've completed your handwriting, 5 points. If most of your letters are neat and complete, or all your letters are neat with a few errors, that's what that means, with a few errors, then that would be 4 points. And if some letters are neat, or all the letters are neat, but you have some errors, you have some mistakes on there, then that would be 3 points. But I think if we are all very careful with our handwriting, I am sure we can all get all of our 5 points. If you do your work neatly and carefully, you, I'm sure, will get all of your 5 points. So once again, this is our handwriting practice for today. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of the day. So you're going to finish your handwriting, and then you're going to take a picture and upload it into Google Classroom. All right. Have a fabulous rest of your day, scholars.